Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. It is Sunday. What is that? What? It's so okay. Well, let me. Oh, there we go. Are we better? Are we stable? Are we fine? I'm kind of. I hate this. I got to get rid of this. Next week, I'm getting it cut. Don't worry about it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program where I do the thing that I would say that I said I would do in the title, and it's exciting and it's a grab bag of fun. You never know what it is. Each comment is like a little prize to me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a little tombola, the old Italian game where you jumble up all the tickets and you pick a ticket and you get a prize. That's how I feel when I read everyone's comments. So incredibly. Let's get a quick look. The Armani is done. It's been like 15 weeks of Armani, and now we're back to basics with some diesel. Some people say this is a maroon or perhaps a champagne, but I want to say not a champagne. What's the word? Like a wine color. That's what I meant. But to me, this is like an Auburn. There's hints of orange in here, even though they're red. That reddish is a burnt. It's very burnt, and it's autumnal. And to me, that's what I think of when I think of this. Is this our first? This is our first coffee and underwear of October. This year has been great so far, and it's only going to continue on that trend. The comments are hopping. So let's get to work. Clincy said, "Hi there, RJ. How's it going? And wow, you got new underwear to show us, but what happened to the Armani? I haven't gotten rid of them. I wasn't mugged and someone took my Armanis. I simply ran through all of them. They may pop up again in various forms, as some of my favorite underwear often do. I like wearing them privately. But I thought to mark the end of Armani and very much the beginning of autumn, I should change it up, and that's what I've done. So don't worry, Clint. You know, I got all these underwear. I don't know what I'm going to put up. We're going to have an auction. Let's have an underwear auction. Maybe I'll donate to charity or something." Karen said, "Good evening, everyone. How are you? Pay my tax." Karen, of course, is on the other side of the world, and I'm hoping it's much better there. Richard said, "Good day, RJ. Have a great Sunday, mate. Cheers. Here's to you." Leo said, "RJ City is one of the biggest legend stars ever in this God." Or are you saying in this, meaning this? Which I would be, because this is my show. Like outside the house, not much. Bill said, "Happy Sunday, RJ, and everyone. Let's start with something peppy." I think he said Pepe, but he means Peppy. I think Peppy is Peppy. So RJ, can you sing the theme song to That 70s Show, which is Out in the Street by Cheap Trick? Bow, ba-down, ba-down, da-down, hanging out, bow, ba-down, da-down, down the street, bow, ba-down, down. It's the same old thing, down, but down. They're driving. We did last week. Down, but down, down, not a thing to you. Oh, yes. Oh, bow, 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 bow. Hello, Wisconsin. The alternate version, nothing to do but talk to you. We're all right. We're all right. Bow, bow, bow. Hello, Wisconsin. They would put their hands on the dashboard, and they were fun. That was a fun show, and they had a wrestling episode, which I'll be getting to on the Hollywood Squared Circles, as I'm covering all of them. This week was Family Matters wrestling episode with Carl and Steve against the Bushwhackers, and it was a hoot. And next week, what is next week? Next is, I'm not going to say what show it is, but it's by far the worst wrestling episode I've seen so far. Angel says, "Hello, everyone." Hello to Angel. Leo said, "Could you please sing the Lawrence Diarrhea song?" Of course, one of my favorites. Love that song. Here it is, the Lawrence Diarrhea song. Diarrhea. I just met a man named Diarrhea, and it's changed everything I've known about that word. Diarrhea. The most dashing of men named Diarrhea. The most handsomest last name that I've heard. But now he's gone away. The man I know, whom with I forever want to stay. Diarrhea. How can I honor Diarrhea? I have to give myself your last name. Not legally, of course, but inside my veins, I'll have a burrito, a hamburger, Cheetos, and some Doritos, blue cheese dressing, some sugary fructose carbonated sodas, just so I can have diarrhea in me. That was the Lawrence Diarrhea song. It's a sad, very sad song, emotional, and shows the great suffering that sometimes love entails. Bill said, morning, Leo. Leo said, morning, Bill. Well, this is getting off to a song. Oh, God, I've missed so much because I've sung. Anytime you have to sing for a while, you miss everything. Pantula's grandma said, good morning, everyone. How's everyone's coffee? I haven't pressed it yet, but I will. Broad said, good morning, RJ and citizens. Any news on that RJ City Halloween special? Well, it's the Halloween special. And the shirt you can buy at prowrestling.com/RJ City. And some stuff are happening. It's nothing to report. Bill said, almost felt like City After Dark moment with Leo's requests. Sean said, Bill, you got Down on the Corner by CCR in my head now. Amazing. Another fine song. Sean said, also, I haven't gotten any money this week, but if anyone gives a request, Roll with the Changes by REO Speedwagon, I'd be a very happy camera. What a democratic society we've created here. Sabrina said, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. Pendula's grandma said, hey there. Morning, treating you well. Mrs. Morning T-shirt people are talking to everyone else. Aaron says, happy Sunday, folks. Bill said, panties is all. Bill said, hey, Aaron, Sabrina enjoyed my mini vacation. Missy said, morning, evening, everyone. Sean said, good morning, everybody. Eric's using the Hulk Hogan emoji. Nail said, watch the ads for RJ Gang. Thank you. So I can make about 8 cents, but I will use it. Jessamine Duke said, well, hi. And well, hi to you. If you were on my channel last night, you saw that Jessamine and I played some more Serious Sam, and there will be much more coming because it's a game that is becoming a part of us. The new Serious Sam 4, although I love all of them. Clarence said, hey, RJ, I have to ask, do you dance in your underwear? If so, which song gets you in the mood to dance in underwear on Sundays? Oh, I love Begin the Begin. I glide across the floor when I hear that song. Leo said, what kind of duvet sheets do you have? Duvet is heavy, heavy, heavy. I'm a real warm sleeper, so I try to keep it as light as possible. It's not a duvet. It's just very small, very thin. And then I will kick them off. Exciting and scary, which is what they said about Vincent Price when he made coffee in his underwear. Anyone care for a brew of murder? Angel said, good morning, my sexy RJ. So glad to catch you today. I feel caught. Leo said, do you prefer Tom Green or Steven Seagal? Everything I hear about Steven Seagal is that he was a raging asshole, both in film and SNL. I think he was the worst host of Saturday Night Live ever. That's not according to me. It's according to, common parlance. So I would say Tom Green. Angela's grandma said, I don't know. Pepe Le Pew impression would also be very welcome. Bill said, Pepe in honor of Bill Beretta. Still enjoying the Muppets since with you and David. David and I did a wonderful podcast with the Beretta brothers. Bill is a fabulous Muppeteer. You can look at it. I posted it on my channel and so on and so forth. And next week, I believe the one we did with the Nobodies drops, which may be one of my favorite ones. Speaking of, look who just walked in. What is this? The Dean Martin Variety Special? David Arquette is here. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend David Arquette. And then David would go, Thank you. Richard said, hey, good morning. Nail said, oh my God. I think now I'm getting where people are hearing the diarrhea chat. Michelle said, next week is my birthday. Yep, the whole week. Happy birth week to you. It was a long birth. It took a whole week. Aaron said, morning, David. What entrance? Yeah, David showed up during the diarrhea song, I guess. Nail said, sorry, guys, I'm catching up as quickly as I can. Nail said, hey, David, perfect timing. Bill's here. Morning, David. Nail said, please tell me Blue Meanie is here to witness this poopy masterpiece. Someone will send him the link. Clarence said, hi, RJ. Let's get Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood of FDR onto the show sometime. We'll keep trying. And then Clarence said, which song gets you in the mood to dance in your underwear? I told you. Begin the Begin. Richard said, RJ, what is your favorite submission move? Like a good hammer lock. You got to lock that hammer up tight. Get him to tap. David said, that's what took me so long. Diarrhea. Hollywood is the secret diet. Yes. And it just flows out of you. You get sick for 2 weeks, and then people are like, you look great. Before a roll, you just have a cheeseburger, and give it hell. Nicholas said, it's not often I join during a diarrhea song. Michelle said, hope everyone's having a lovely morning despite the diarrhea. Leo said, thank you for the Lawrence diarrhea song, the best I've ever heard. I love that one. Spot Center said, could you please take it back to American Band saying 1976 and sing Let Her In by John Travolta. I don't know if I want to sing that song, man. It's just something I had on my album. It's fun. Let's see if I can remember it. I can't remember it. So I'm just going to, okay, here we go. I'm just going to let it come from my heart. I was walking down the road on the beach one day, and this girl was drowning, and she said, hey, please help me. And I pulled her out, and I kissed her, and then I said, I know what I want to do. Let her in. Let her in. Let her in. Gotta let her into my life. Gotta let her in. Gotta let her in. Gotta let her in into my life. And then she said she was from Australia, and I was like, okay, well, like, let's do it, and I'll never see you again. And then I went back to school the next September, and then she was there, and I said, oh, I don't know you at all. I just been too busy rocking and rolling, and maybe I remember you. And then she looked at me and said, let her in, let her in, let her in into my life. Let her in, let her in. Let her in into my life. And then she was mad, and then I felt bad, and then we all went to this dance, and then she was with this jock guy, and I was upset, so I tried to throw a ball, and Sid Caesar was like, no, there's all kinds of running. Long distance running. Cross country running. See, you know, I tried real hard, but she was still mad at me, and then she saw me with Cha-Cha, who was like 46 at the time. So she was like, what are you doing hanging out with this older girl who's just waving everything around? And then she got these new pants and a cigarette, and she started singing to me, and I was like, I like girls in new leather pants and cigarettes. So then we had fun, and we had a dance, and then we started driving, and the car lifted up, and it drove away, and then the car sang, let her in, let her in, let her in into my life. That's Let Her In. And you can hear all about that album on my friend Tony Thaxton's Bizarre Albums podcast. He just did it, and I think he's responsible for the John Travolta singing resurgence. There's also a song by, I believe, Joey Travolta, too, lest we forget. David with a Goldenrod tribute apropos of nothing. So I don't know what to do with that all, but thanks. If you have a song, let me know. Any song that David suggests, I usually don't know. Bill said, David, hope you get away from Hollywood once in a while. That diet could be much too slimming. David is in great, I don't know what shape he's in now, but he was in great shape. Eric said, you guys play Serious Sam. Well, time for Duke Nukem's? Maybe, but Serious Sam, honestly, is way better. Nell said, Sean, David giving up for 2 songs. Leo said, I heard your dad retweets Gary V, which is a tremendous insult. Eric said, I like the second half of the Barretta Brothers interview, but where's Trent? A reference that only I got. Travolta is the funniest thing in the world, says Nails. Exploring the Unknown says, hey to you. Angel said, good morning, David. I guess this is no longer my show. SM said, this cult needs a John Travolta emoji now. Sabrina's using my emoji. Singh said, this probably kicked Trent out because he lost his surname. Hollywood is a fickle business. That indeed. David said, John Travolta once reached out to me. I thought it was for a film. It was to try to get me into rehab. Hello? Hey, David, it's John Travolta. Oh, what's going on? I have an exciting new project for you. Really? You do? Let me know when. Okay, these men will come to the house. And don't worry about it. It's about 6 months, but you're going to come out great. Great, thanks. You'll send me a script? Yeah, it's mainly improv. Jesus, how did he get your number? And my other question is, did it work? Did you go after that? And you're like, if John said I need to go, I need to go. What if, or perhaps you're waiting for Jeff Conaway to call. So weird. Panta's grandma said, this is like Danny Kaye singing and Travolta popping in to do the rap parts. Yes. Neil said, I don't need to watch Grease now. Missy said, how many more cult members do we need for a Travolta emoji? I'll have to look. I'll look and get back to you. Neil said, David, you don't need Scientology. One cult is enough for you. I think you need a young Travolta emoji. That's a lot more palatable. David said, I paid for my intro music. Oh, the diarrhea song? Okay, great. Neil said, also, nobody tell TMZ any of David's stories we eat snitches. Optimist, I'm pretty sure these are all public knowledge at this point. Richard said John Travolta looks like 2003 Bill Goldberg. Val has a request. Speaking of Tony Thaxton's Everything Is Alright by Motion City soundtrack, another song that I love and I'm a very big fan of. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Why is nothing bad? Because everything is all right. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad because everything is all right. Walking down the street and I saw a fire. I said, oh my goodness, that house is on fire. But I was cold and the fire kept me warm. That's when I realized that everything is all right. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Why is nothing bad? Because everything is all right. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing's bad because everything is all right. I was sawing in my shed and I accidentally cut off my leg. I was upset about it until I realized I was a great hopper. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad because everything is all right. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad because everything is fine. David has a fucking request after all. Oh, David said he went elsewhere to rehab. On the advice of Didi Khan, who also called you. David said, but if you insist, Summer Lovin', which is great. It's autumn now. Summer loving had me a blast. Summer loving happened so fast. Met a girl crazy for me. Met a boy cute as can be. Summer days drifting away, but those summer nights. Well, tell me more, Jack the J out of the car. Tell me more, like did he have a car? Then he was out in the sand. Hey, my judges holding my hand. Till 10 o'clock, they stayed out. Till 10 o'clock, summer jeans, didn't seem, but the summer nights, better, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, and moved back home. Now I'm all alone. When we made our true love vow, wonder what she's doing now. And this is my own split screen. Summer dreams ripped at the seams, but those summer nights. That was not bad. It was better than I thought it was going to be. And we're through it, you son of a bitch. So I hope you get a nice phone call after that saying you got to get off, please. This John Travolta, stay off that kid's chat. It's weird, man. David agrees with nothing is bad for some reason. Leo said, would you rather wear a facts don't care about your feelings Ben Shapiro shirt for a month or sleep in the same bed as Virgil for a weekend? Well, all accounts of Virgil is that he's packing some heat, and I'd like to stay warm, so to hell with Ben Shapiro. Aaron said, I need to clip out this song for next time I have an anxiety attack. That was a motivational song. David said, B show on TV. What? 10 a cock. That's gross. That's a gross, immature thing to say, David. Val said, thanks, Nails. I was about 1,000% sure he wouldn't know what song it was since it came out in 2005, which is like 40 years too late. Leo said, do you own any of the Super 7 Andre figures? No. I only own like the old Andre figures, and I believe almost all of them, but none of the Super 7. They look adorable. Singh said, Summer Lovin' is a classic karaoke song. Nothing beats watching two drunks who've had so much they can barely read scream at each other. Story of my life. Kiana said, I had to sing this to audition for Grease in high school, but did you get it? Val said, But the Tony Thaxton he was referring to with the podcast used to be in this pop punk band, Motion City Soundtrack. He was the drummer. I was a big fan of them. He's a delightful person. I tweet him often, and I was on the podcast once. I had no idea that it was his song, and he'll be thoroughly insulted now. David liked it. Allie said, do I need to pay for a leapfrog? Allie is a wrestler who has difficulty doing leapfrog, so I'll do this one for her. I'll show her. I got very high on that one. That's fine. Bill said, we're going to give RJ laryngitis. That's for sure, especially with the dry weather. David says, I said 10 o'clock, and I don't think I did. But maybe that's the Travolta speaking through me. Neil said, we can't be immature in Auburn. No, this is very sophisticated. Bill said, so now that fall is here, any good stories from family road trips or road trips with David around this time of year? Well, this was my favorite trip when he flew into Detroit and we flew to Windsor. We drove to Windsor and he stopped at the 7-Eleven and I bought coconut water and a protein shake, and he bought ghost pepper jalapeno peanuts, Monster energy drinks, and 2 Halloween masks, which I think I still have somewhere. He just kind of left them in the car. He's like, maybe I'll bring them home for the kids. And then he just left them in the car. Richard said, RJ, do you have any VHS wrestling tapes? I have a bunch, and I still have my VCR. It's a combo with the DVD player, so I'm never going to get rid of it. It was a wise investment. Kiana said, I got a call back for Sandy, but they said I didn't fit the part. Not skinny enough. That is a shame. That is a damn shame, and it's their loss because now you're going to sing it all day. And know that you are the Sandy to everyone in this room. Spot Center said, I once owned a Sean Cassidy 45 of the Do Run Run. It got scratched and I threw it out my buddy's window into the snow. Contrary to 70s lore, that hack did not work and it still skipped. Allie wants to know who's getting under that leapfrog. There's athletic people who can get down low. I don't want to hit my head. Leo said, are you going to invite Don Trump Jr. on Coffee and Underwear like another certain wrestler who had him on his podcast? Nope. We're good. I would differ in that behavior. David said, maybe I have cock in my brain. You have a doodle-doo too, my friend. Sean said, Alley Cat's in the chat. That rhymes. Nail said, David, it sounds like you answered the Scientology call to who's who over here. Bill said, better than a White Claw. Pando's grandma said, Coco Van does go to the head quickly. David said, Scientology has never been interested in the Arquettes, but maybe that rehab call was my way in. You know, it says something about your family when Scientology was like, no, they're too weird. Don't send them the invitation. They're fine on their own. It's okay. They're up to some other stuff. It's okay. Sean said, me, David, RJ, Allie, we're 5 away from a full set of Hollywood squares. Nail said, Sean, it's the Auburn Knickers, attracts the good people. David said, but this is the only cult I'm a part of. And don't you have a group on the street? You go do graffiti? You have a graffiti group. Don't tell me this is the only cult you're in. And you also had a band. Shit. Okay, let me make some fucking coffee. I forgot what this show was. Please bear with me, everyone. Let's press. So dark because it's dark outside, but we sing Summer Night, so it's so bright now in my mind. David said KGB, kids gone bad. Although now it's adults gone bad. It's grown men staying bad. They were bad kids, and they haven't changed at all. Let me pour this. I have the Phantom. You know what? I'm going to use the Phantom mug. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. I love this mug. It's very inspiring. When I was a child, I slept over at a friend's house. It was like the first sleeper I ever went to, and I could not sleep. You know, you sleep somewhere new, it's frightening. So I was up in the middle of the night, and the kid's mom was so sweet and stayed up and talked to me, very kind. But I remember she was drinking tea out of a Phantom of the Opera mug, but not this mug. It was a mug that looked all black, and then when you pour the coffee or the hot water in it, the mask appears. And as she was talking to me and trying to calm me down, which was incredibly sweet, all I could think was, This fucking amazing mug. It's the best mug I've ever seen. Sink wants to be in a graffiti cult. Missy said, David, we love having you in the cult. Leo said, which wrestler looks like they smell bad actually smells really good? Rhino. You would think of someone named Rhino would smell like an animal, but he smells amazing. Neil said, we've had Matt Haven and Dalton Castle before, too. They're part-timers. David said, I was born on a commune. Very culty. David, I also want to know, and we've never really talked about it, but I am fascinated about it. When did the commune end? Like, I understand it was started and whatever. And then at what point do they go, let's close up shop? And do you have any idea what it is now? Eric said, Year 2000, which is David's wonderful band. Optimus said, new show. RJ makes John Travolta impressions in his underwear. Bill said, David, how did RJ bring you into the cult? That's a long story. Anita the Face, said David. And that knocked him for a loop, and he was a follower of mine ever since. Neil said, yes, David, but you made that look wonderful in your documentary. 10 o'clock. Missy said, Bill, I have never been more proud of you. Neil said, Bill, well done. Never, ever leave. Did I miss something? Did I miss a thing from, what do we? Bill said, you ever drink tea? Any good suggestions for us? The only tea I like is peppermint. It's like a cucumber peppermint, put a little lime in it. Otherwise, not really. I don't, because it's like too close to coffee. It's what it really wants to be coffee, and it's not. There's too much powder in this shit because the Phantom thing. I'm better. Angel said, how many times have you seen the Phantom of the Opera? I don't even know at this point, which tells you how many. So I'm thinking 6 or 7. Less than 10, more than 5. Eric said, RJ has a tag tweet about that. Nail said, Bill has finally accepted he's in a cult. We're congratulating him on giving up his will. Jessamine said, oh my God, stir it in a little. What are you doing? I'm living it up, lady. That's what I'm doing. This is good stuff. This is it's a meal in a cup. Spot Center said, I just bought a three Pekkas coffee mug from Chip Jimberson, who sounds like a news anchor. The Pekkas appear when adding a warm drink. Nothing like holding warm Pekkas on a cold morning. Yes, at 10 o'clock. Missy said, it looks like hot chocolate with marshmallows in many ways. Richard said, chunky coffee. I tend to agree. Eric said, David's documentary was on sale for like $5 last week. It had more light tubes than you might think. No, I thought it would have a lot, and it had that amount. But yeah, I would definitely say go in expecting light tubes. I'm upset that there's none of me singing in it, because I did sing a lot, but you have to clear the rights. Maybe there's a bootleg copy circulating around, just me singing. Angel said, I want to go see it with you. I bet you would be great to see it with. Oh, you mean the Phantom? I thought you were talking about the documentary. I love the Phantom. I've seen it enough times now where I know everything, so I can watch for other things that I haven't seen before. There's this guy, you read the playbill, you look through all the roles. There's one guy, his name is like Marksman number 2. And his only job is to, when the Phantom appears in the balcony, they like shoot him. It's like, okay. And so Phantom appears in the balcony, guy goes, poof, and his only line is like, I missed. And then he's gone. Neil said we could totally make a bootleg movie just splicing clips together. Sabrina's using the appropriate David and coffee emojis. Bill said, we need you to sing the Jessamine coffee and underwear theme now. Poor view, Jessamine. Poor for you is what you're saying. Of course. I love when she used to sing that song. She used to come on the show in the middle and do that notable song. Oh shit. Okay. And I love it. Love it. Well, hi. I just popped in to say, well, hi. How's it going? What you doing? Are you playing games? I'm walking with my dog and nothing's the same. Well, hi, boom, 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 boom. Just say, well, hi, doom, 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 doom. If you're walking down the street and see someone nice, don't be mean. Don't give them no spice. Look them in the eye and hold your head high. And then all you have to say is, well, hi, boom, 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 boom. Let's say, well, hi, boom, 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 boom. Let's play some games. Doom, 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 doom. Don't be the same. Doom, 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 doom. That was Jessamine Duke's version of the Coffee and Underwear theme song. Which is great. Jessamine said, I'm going to copy strike this video now. Well, it's because she owns the rights to the song. And I'm sure you can buy her album. Can you drop the SoundCloud link in there? It'd be very helpful for people. Art said, hi, RJ. Hello, Art. If you like art, actual art, not just the person does art, go click on the stuff. He drew a wonderful picture of me this week, and they did a fine job. Thank you. Sean said, light tubes and panes of glass make matches difficult for me to watch. Sometimes I can handle it. But in David's documentary, for example, my heart was in my throat. Actually, you weren't watching his documentary. You were watching C-Spot Run. Sorry, I'll get you a copy of the documentary too. David said, me too, Sean. Nail said, Sean, same. I couldn't watch that match despite knowing David is alive and healthy. I was so worried. Well, he's alive. Spot Center said, when will you book your mom again on this eclectic show, perhaps to tell holiday stories? That may be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what works, but at some point soon. SM said, same. I've watched the documentary like 4 times. I only watched that scene in the documentary once. It's a skipper. It's, you know, it's coming and you want to get rid of it. Neil said, please, please, please do a duet with Jessamine. I would. I mean, I'm, you know, one half of the duet is set. You got to work on the other half. Patrick said, hi, RJ. Have you ever seen Evil Dead the Musical? I will do you one better. I had a friend who was in Evil Dead the Musical. I believe Nug, my friend, was in Evil Dead the Musical. I don't know what he did. I haven't seen it. But he was in another one called Cannibal the Musical. And I saw him in that. And that was great. And that was based on a movie by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Trey Stone, Matt Parker, the South Park people. And they wrote this musical movie. And it was like kind of like a parody of Oklahoma called Cannibal the Musical. And I liked the movie too. Jessamine said, you forgot to mention yaks, RJ. Well, I'm sure next week someone will ask me to do another impression of you, and I'd be happy to talk about you. I'd be happy to yak it up. Leo said, would you rather wear neon green Crocs and brown socks for 1 month or non-ironically retweet Gary Vee every day for 2 months? Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Green Crocs, brown socks. I hate them, but I can't with Gary. I just can't. Sabrina said, is Canadian Thanksgiving next week? I'm thankful for this cult. Yes, it is. Nell said, RJ, have you ever... Eric said, which holiday? Well, and then use the Hulk Hogan emoji. So I don't know which... Maybe that's a Santa thing. Maybe Christmas. Nell said, RJ, have you ever done a match with silly weapons? If not, please don't. I'd be furious if you cut that perfect skin. I've told this story before, and this tells you how much I've grown. I once did a match where I wrestled a terrifying man named Bloody Bill Scully. And they call him Bloody Bill Scully because he would start the match bleeding. So how are you going to open a man who's already bleeding? And his finishing move, and it's to this day, I can't believe I took it. He took his shirt off. He wrapped his shirt around his hand. He put lighter fluid on the shirt, lit his shirt on fire, and punched me in the chest. And there was no fire marshal there that day. And I just remember the time in between being hit and bumping, like falling. I remember being suspended in midair and thinking, oh my God, am I on fire? I have absolutely no way of telling. And I was scared shitless, as was everyone else, because it's a terrifying sight. And I will never forget it. And then otherwise, I would do silly matches. I had a Christmas death match once with Gregory Iron and Dick Justice. where I took a spill on some Hot Wheels, like in Home Alone, and that hurt a lot. Sabrina said, I'm thankful for you, Sabrina. Bill said, so loving your Halloween movie recommendations. Are there any Halloween comedies you enjoy? Well, there's that like Tucker and Dale evil thing, which is like, okay. Dracula Dead and Loving It is not the best. I feel like certain elements of Ghostbusters could be considered a horror comedy. They always, to me, they work, but it's hard. Horror comedy is like what? It should be either a horror or a comedy. You know what always made me laugh is 1 Hour Photo, which is on the list with Robin Williams. It's a horror. It's not a horror. It's a creepy movie, but it makes me laugh. Leo said, are you going to see the Peter Sutcliffe musical? I don't have tickets as of yet. Neil said, Sabrina, I'm thankful for you and your constant optimism that RJ isn't really a heel. Good luck with that. Aaron said, I have many pictures with Nug from the many times I saw Evil Dead the musical. So he was in it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glenn has seen Cannibal and said it's Spadoinkle Day, which is a song from just watch it, I guess. Neil said, Danhausen is also sound recommendations. I'm enjoying comparing them. Aaron said, I've seen it double digits amounts. So weird. Leo said, why do wrestlers love Gary Vee so much? I wouldn't say they love Gary Vee as much as they enjoy empty yet aggressive displays of optimism and productivity. I hope that answers your question. Richard said, RJ, do you like wrestling outdoors? No, I do not. When it's cold, like now you can't. It's freezing. It sucks. And then if you do it in the middle of the day in like August, it's hot and the mat is hot. I would wrestle at like a fair show that would be so hot that we would always kick out at 1 because you didn't want to be on the mat that long because it would burn. Maybe if it was hot and at night, I would be interested. The setup is always bad for an outdoor show. Val said, didn't you and Gregory Iron have a particularly terrifying death match? Oh, well, we both died. So here you go. You're talking to a ghost, my friend. Southern said, put a shirt on, silly Billy. You'll catch a chill. I'm going to get wrapped up right after this. Panteo's grandma said, if you had a stage musical career, which musical would you most want to perform in? You can't say Phantom. Well, then Little Shop of Horrors. That settles it. I would be the dentist. And sometimes Audrey. Sabrina said, I won't be here next week because I do celebrate Thanksgiving on the Sunday at this hour. Come on. Do you and your family celebrate it on the Sunday or the Monday? We do. Apparently this year we're doing it on the Monday, but like at this point, with the state of the world, what difference does it make? What's a day? What's the difference between Sunday and Monday for me? Other than the show, I will spend the day exactly the same. But I think we're doing Monday, so whatever. Sean said, ouch, Hot Wheels bump. Ever see anyone bump onto Legos? Yes, I've seen a Lego death match before, which was weird. Marvin said, I hope WWE is at least paying you in leftover 2000 WCW marks. No, David is. Can't wait to see you on the bump Wednesday. Yes, this Wednesday I will be on the bump. But this is the only bump I take at this point. And with my special opening act, Ken Jeong. Very excited. Neil said, I'm not emotionally ready to watch Robin Williams. Well, it's one of my favorite roles of his. And I shit on most of his roles all the time. David said, Ravenous Bill. Shameless plug. What is it? Is it a movie? It's a movie you were in? You know, I want to say on my Halloween movie list for my members, I dropped a movie called The Tripper. And if you haven't seen it, it's written and directed by one David Arquette. And my highest compliment I'll give him, not a bad film. Eric said, Thriller, Nightmare on Elm Street movies are horror comedies. That's fair. I just don't find them that funny. Really. Blue Meanie is here. Good morning, all. Meanie is back. And if you like cartoons about stories about farts, or if you like podcasts about farts, do click on Blue Meanie's channel and the Mind of the Meanie cast of pods and enjoy him. Nails it. Peter Sutcliffe. Isn't he the Yorkshire Ripper? I'm so British and confused. Eric wants to know what a Gary V is. It's a great question. It's a Gary A that's been turned upside down. Nail said, Meanie, you missed out on an awesome song about diarrhea. David is using a blue heart. Richard is chanting BWO. Leo said, talking of people who like Gary V, I work for a library and the UK's top category A prison has 11 copies of The Secret. What vibrations am I putting in to the universe? I think I need new batteries. Blumini said, my second match was in a car lot and the mat was so hot they had to hose the ring down to cool it off. Even worse, I would wrestle. They would do outdoor shows and sometimes it would rain, which was honestly okay, but the canvas would be plastic. It wouldn't be canvas. It's not a canvas. It would be a mat, like a tarp. And you can't even step. You can't do anything. There were matches where it was just like you would literally have to do standing chain and be really careful, and then maybe a schoolboy and hope you didn't blow your knee out. Fun times. Good working environment. Keanu said, at least you get to have Thanksgiving. We don't. This is like very Ontario got worse numbers wise, and they were like, you know what? Actually, we're gonna leave everything open, but stay home. So I'm sure everyone will listen. Panta's grandma said, every day is Thanksgiving when the world is ending. Exactly. Everything is great. Rob said, RJ is Audrey. I think he's found a new gimmick. David said, Ravenous. It's a movie. Yes. Go look up Ravenous. Or maybe it's Ravenous, and it stars the wonderful Raven Simone. Michelle said, I had a dream that took place over a span of a week. You and I had breakfast, then kissed goodbye for work like Ward and June. Oh, so like in a not sexual capacity at all. I'm like the old den mother here, and I feel Oedipus-like may need therapy. Well, everyone needs therapy, but I think you've now figured it out. You may be doing your own by expressing it here. David said, thank you, RJ. No. David, thank you. Neil said, I'm going to for sure watch The Tripper. Marvin said, you and King Jeong together. It's pretty much as 80s buddy cop movie as it gets. Bill said, David, did you scold RJ for not getting you on the bump with him? That was not the deal. That was not the deal we had signed. David said, The Tripper, like the Gipper. What? Great sell of the film. Marino said, I just broke up with my boring girlfriend of 3 years last week. Sucks, but what was needed? Words of wisdom. Yeah, maybe just throwing it out there. The boredom is a reflection of what you were sending off. Just look at yourself in the mirror and say, what could I have done better? Pick up the pieces. Everyone always says, well, I got to find someone different. Not that many people are different. A lot of people can be shitty and boring and whatever. What are you bringing to the table is my question. Pull up your socks, Marino. Get it together. Throw some water on your face. Maybe you need to wear a fun hat or something. Maybe that'll jazz it up. I hope that's helped. Leo said, are Figures toy company going to make a weird-looking figure of you that doesn't look like you that costs $50 and breaks the moment you take it out of the box? If you want them to. If you'll buy it. Bill said, welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Meanie. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Meanies. Today in our show, these mop-top kids from Philadelphia, please welcome Blue and Tracy Root, the Meanies. Broadzilla wants to know, is The Tripper a scary Three's Company reboot? Yeah, John Ritter can't take it anymore. And he goes on a spree. Bill said, what were the worst conditions you wrestled under? Probably, so we did a show. I think it was, so people have fall fairs here. And promoters are like, we can have wrestling shows there, which nobody told me. And it was cold like it is today. So it was cold. It was in the afternoon. And it was raining. And the ring was a 14-foot ring. So it was very small. There's maybe 10 or 20 people around the ring. And we're next to like a fucking barn. And there's horses and shit in there. And everyone wants to go see the horses. They're like, fuck you. I'd rather see the horses. It was so miserable and so cold and so wet. And I teamed with Hornet, who's now the ref in WWE. His name is Daryl. And he can confirm the story. It was so cold that I think I wrestled with a t-shirt on. And he wrestled with a straight up hoodie on. And it was just like, this is a mess. Let's get through it, and then let's get in the car and go home. And we only had to go a tent to change in. So we were all soaking wet. Like everything I owned, including my bag, was soaking wet. Marvin said, in my failed days of becoming a pro wrestler, I had a match at a flea market. We couldn't do much in one corner of the ring because a giant barbecue pit was cooking near it. Now, that is a death match. That is a gimmick if I've ever heard it. Nail said, these streams are my therapy, and that's why it's not working, Nails. David said, I insist on my thank you. Thanks. As much as I want to grab that thank you and hold on to it, I feel like it wants to get away and run all the way back to its original owner so I can simply say thank you. Pando's grandma said, ooh, we need a movie called Ravenous about a bunch of techno dancing Corvids. Sure, send it picture to one of the gentlemen in the chat. David and Meanie are sending blue hearts to each other. Classic RJ advice, said Nails. Nails said, hats often help me with my problems. Marino said, thank you. I literally just popped in my living room and almost spilled my coffee. You got to take a good sip first. A hearty, cautionary sip so you don't have that problem. So even if things jerk around, you won't actually spill the coffee. Panzo's grandma said, do you have different hats for different kinds of problems? I think Nails does. David said, you can't give the blue hearts back. You have to accept them, much like RJ refuses to accept my thanks without returning it because I have to return it to its rightful owner, and you are most deserving of the thanks. Eric said, why would you take it out of the box? Oh, Jesus. SM has a wonderful request. Need more Travolta. Please sing Grease Lightning. Even better if you know the dance. Hey, guys, look at this car. It's pretty nice. Actually, it's better than nice. Why, it's a Grease Lightning. Go Grease Lightning, you're burning up the chest, oh yeah. Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, you're burning up the dinner. Go Grease Lightning, Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, better got steal out there. Better, go get better. Go Grease Lightning, better than the dinner. You know what get it down, get it. Grease Lightning. I'm the engine. It's going down in the thing. People are wiping the headlights. Go Grease Lightning, the wind to beat up the Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, finger I can see them, but Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning, 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 lightning. Can you explain what the fuck happened in that scene? They worked on this car, and then they were dreaming of a better car, and then they ended up with the original car still? I don't understand. That was very like Wizard of Oz shit. They could all of a sudden make things happen, and everything was silver. And they did a direct parody of it on Home Improvement. That's the version I was doing. Blue Meanie and David are just blowing each other in the chat. Bill said, we all need funny hats this Halloween. David is the expert, that's for sure. Jessamine said, I have an amazing video of RJ and David refusing to accept each other's thanks. David said, well, thank you, Jessamine. Jessamine, just give it back. Give him the fucking, be a good person and give it back. Please. Blue Meanie said, I once wrestled in a horse barn in West Virginia where the main event was to be a reverse battle royal because the ring broke. That is amazing. And I want a footage of this. Blue Meanie said, the first person in the ring won. We all had to pretend we never entered a ring before. I love it. And I have like a sneaking suspicion like someone like Tom Brady was on the show. Do you know what I mean? That just sounds like I would see his face on the poster. Angel said, oh my God, watching you dance to Grease Lightning, I almost burnt my pancakes. David said, you have to point and drag your arm across. Like this? Kenna said, crack is what happened. Marvin said, Meanie, David, Jessamine, and you as T-Birds? Yes, please. I would rather be the pink ladies. Neil said, and now he's furious. Leo said, do you think there will come a time when you will have to wrestle in a singlet? No, I actually had like an Andre singlet for a time because I thought it was funny, and I got the people from Splat-A-Lot to make it for me, and I liked it. It looked okay, but I'd rather everything be out. Singh said the dream scene is a metaphor for how the secret doesn't actually work, and now they're all in prison. Michelle said wrestling in a barn in a cornfield over here in humid Ohio in August for old wrestling has to suck. As a fan, it's miserable just sitting there. The show is fun and whimsical, so worth it though. I don't mind it. I know what I'm getting into, and I know it's to period, so it doesn't bother me at all. Jessamine said, "Thank you, David. I accept your thanks, and will just hold right on to it." David said, "I will accept yours as well. So kind." Well, from the bottom of my heart, fuck the both of you. Nell said, "Yes, at last, a middle finger RJ gift." David said, "I give this back, RJ." Oh, was that a middle finger? I didn't know they had an emoji. Val said, "Congrats on preparing the correct breakfast food, Angel." Blue Meanie said, "Tom Brandy was absolutely on the show because I worked with a six-man tech earlier on the show." How did I know that? Let's take a moment to appreciate my intuitiveness on the East Coast-ish indie scene by thinking to myself, that sounds like a Tom Brandy show. That's amazing. Richard said, "RJ, do you take pre-workouts or just drink coffee?" Sometimes I have pre-workouts, obviously, before I work out. There's Gafuel, which I drink sometimes when I'm playing video games, and it gets me in the mood. But usually, if I work out in the mornings, I will have coffee and then work out. Blue Meanie said, "Hello, Jessamine Duke. Waves and does the meanie dance, which if you're unfamiliar, has this kind of thing going on. It's this capacity." Bill said, "Oh, this is so sweet. The room is just one big love boat. Love, exciting and new." David said, "Oh, thank you for the fuck you." No, I must fuck your thank you and thank you for fucking me. You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit. Richard said, "That's crazy. Tom Brandy vibes." I'm feeling very sincere about it. Nell said, "Bill, that won't do. Boo, you suck." Sabrina said, "Boo." Kiana said, "Oh my God." And I don't even know what that's in reference to at this point. This has truly been a shit show. Jessamine said, "Oh, hello, Mr. Meanie." Eric said, "Someone clip that." I have to make my coffee for tomorrow. Let's hang tight here, everyone. Blue Meanie said, "Tom Brandy hasn't aged one bit. I still talk to him. He was one of the first people to encourage me to be a wrestler." That is so sweet. And he's one of those people who you just see as a kid and you don't remember if he was good or not, but now you look back on it and you're like, well, he must have been good. And then I want to go back and watch some more Tom Brandy. One of those people who, because the internet wasn't so hot as it is now, not everyone knows exactly what they did. David said, "I must thank your fuck you." Thank you. That's a direct quote from me. Panthers Grammar said, "That'll show him, RJ." Brody said, "Point and drag. Thank you, everybody, for a great start to Sunday. This Thank Fest is great." Kiana said, "David, put that on a shirt." By the way, you can buy the new Arquette City shirt, and you can buy a You Cannot Kill David Arquette shirt on David's Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City. All the proceeds go towards funding Scream 6, which is just 90 minutes of me screaming into a pillow on my bed. A little more coffee for the kids here. Ta-da. That is set. We're feeling good. Let's get more coffee. Did I miss anyone? Spot Center said, "The TV show Dear John, were you a fan?" I was. I liked Judd. That was peak Judd Hirsch for me. It gave several attempts as I longed for the days of Taxi. It was no Taxi. That's for sure. It was okay. If you lowered your expectations, it was great. Nell said, "Speaking of shirts, buy David and RJ shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/David Arquette." Marvin said, "Curious, after your 58th appearance on the bump and they inevitably name you king of the show," I'll be like, who they would the same way maybe Charles Nelson Riley was on The Tonight Show. "Will you change the name to Bump? I'd rather cut a promo." I think we're going to do something experimental and call the show Flip Bump and broadcast it upside down. Bill said, so we now need a Zoom coffee and underwear with RJ, David, Meany, and Jessamine, all full of love to start and then turn out to an all-out reverse battle royal in the end, and narrated by Tom Brady in like a Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of way. Neil said, is that an Auburn pillow? Speaking of, I haven't shown my underwear enough. They are fun. They are Auburn. And I feel burned emotionally. I'm burnt out here. Blue Meanie said, my favorite Judd Hirsch movie is Without a Trace with Kate Nelligan. I know the ending and I still cry every time. This Neil Simon one I'm thinking of. They're in a hotel and he's a writer and he's like, I don't know what to do. I can't remember the name of it. But he is a very sweet actor. He's an actor like Richard Dreyfuss. You appreciate more the older you get. He has Tom Brady vibes in that sense. Neil said, I bet you less than 5 minutes into the bump, you'll all be watching the RJ City show every time. I don't know why they're letting me on, but I look forward to getting thrown off. It'll be very, very exciting affair. Oh my God. It's too chunky here. David said, it's Judd Hirsch and River Phoenix film. You don't have any context in your comments. Like, what about it? What are you talking about? Is there a name for it? Spot Center said, watch Brodzilla RJ's interview. Yes. Brodzilla has a wonderful YouTube channel. Go click on it. Do enjoy. Buy David's shirts. Eat Val's burnt pancakes. Support the cult. Sundays rule. So really, this is like a farmer's market. What is your favorite sitcom from the 80s and 90s? The 90s, maybe Seinfeld. I don't know if Larry Sanders is considered a sitcom. I guess it is. Not in the traditional sense. But I would say that. 80s, I don't really know. 80s, I might not have. The maybe Golden Girls. Or maybe was Soap. It's hard to figure out what was in the 70s and what was in the 80s. Because I liked Soap. Maybe Golden Girls and then Larry Sanders. Marvin said, I popped so hard when you randomly popped up on the SummerSlam watch along. Let's maybe see if we can make this episode of The Bump the most viewed ever so I can really have them over a barrel about the Cobb salad thing. That's my dream. I don't want their money. I just want their Cobb. Leo said, do you think Randy Orton watches these live streams secretly? I think so. I'm watching you. I know you're watching me. Nail said, I love RJ, but I can't stand the thought of him drinking butter. It's very good for you, Nail. Drink up. Michelle said, hey, what a coincidence. I screamed into my pillow and cowered in the shower for 2 hours after that concocted dream. That's better than yoga. David said, I don't know the name. There's a great song in it. Please sing. Very to the point, this fella is. Bill said, was the movie called The Sunshine Boys? No, but that's another great movie with not Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau and George Burns. Thank you. Christopher Lee said, Perfect Strangers, yay or nay? I would say yay, not, but like, I mean, the song is peak everything. And that's why I made it mine and David's theme song, much to his chagrin. And I said, this is the right choice, please. Sabrina said, Nails. Oh, Nails said, yes, Leo, in disguise. It could be any one of us. Sabrina said, I can't stand the thought of RJ hating Betty White. Val said, this is the best, well-caffeinated farmer's market. Blue Meanie said, thank you. I just did a watch-along for Mind of Meanie of Blue Dust versus Gold Dust. I'm flattered anytime someone mentions it to me. If you want to see all the dusts, go check out Mind of Meanie. Nails said, Sabrina, fuck Betty White. And don't have to block it out. We're not going to throw you out of the chat, Nails. David said, Running on Empty. Is that the song or the movie or both? Mimi said, loved your CBC art video. So did I. But all art dies. Eric said, is this bump thing on YouTube? Yes, it is. It will be on the WWE channel. 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Pray for them all. Nail said, Eric, I think it is also the free version of the network, too. It's on both. Michelle said, do you remember a show on HBO called Dream On? Yes, I do. A show that I only saw when I was a kid. But I have to go back. But I know it was good, or I knew it was going to be good when I was an adult. Brian said, my local ShopRite has injectable butter. I don't know where I'm supposed to inject it. Well, if you've ever seen Tango in Paris. Nell said, I'll check it out. David said, fire and rain. I think David's just yelling nouns now. Dream On, said David, had the same writers as Friends. I thought Dream On was a lot better than Friends. Well, that's just me. Marvin said, fill out your Wrestling Hollywood Squares panelists. Marino said, Davenport or Chesterfield? I'm an Ottoman man. Eric, did you like Pam Anderson's VIP? Oh, yeah. Loved it. One of my favorite shows. Anyway, that's the program for today, everyone. Nail said, I keep pimping RJ stuff in the chat when he does himself. I can't help myself watch RJ's buy shit. I can't help censoring myself. Spot Center said, as a kid, Dream On had boobies. Where was your mother? It was probably on her recommendation. Anyway, I'll see you all very soon in a variety of ways. Oh, Jessamine said, where's my Serious Sam impression? I paid for it. Last week, she paid for it after I ended the stream. She wanted an impression of Serious Sam. Here it is. Let's get serious. Serious Sam. Serious Sam. Well, ha. Is that better? Did that work for everyone? David said, sing Fire and Rain. I paid too. Okay, fine. We're going long because this prick. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I woke up this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. Cause I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just gotta see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I can't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days and I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Just got to see me through another day. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Thought I'd see you one more time, Suzanne. Thought I'd see you. Thought I'd see you this time around. Godspeed and God bless. Fuck you, David.